Hello, everybody. Let me
Hello,
see
everyone.
here.
Hello.
Okay, I think we are all here except Maya. Can you see what is in the chat? Can you all see chat and the link I sent?
Maya is here.
Oh, hello. No, but she is finishing second meeting.
No, I'm okay. I'm here.
Okay,
Okay.
Maya
I'm
is
here.
with smile.
Okay.
And
So,
she's here. Yes.
The link that you sent?
yes. So you can see it all, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then the first part will be to listen to me for 1 or 2, 3 minutes, and then we'll go to our workshop and start with our work today. Okay, thank you everybody for joining us today on our workshop. I hope you are all healthy and well. The goal of today's workshop is to test our methodologies, our methodology template. We believe that it is the best way to test it in a way that we all together during today's workshop make one methodology on a selected topic. So we try to select 3 current topics that we are all encountered through the media, and you will choose by majority vote the one on which we will create that methodology today. So we try to choose topics that do not require some previous knowledge and which we all are familiar because they are relevant in lately. I mean, if you open newspapers one time in the last week or two, you read something about these topics. So we will work on methodology interactively. There will be enough time for each question to think, write, possibly translate, or try to find some word in the dictionary, and so on. So please be aware that there is no correct answer. There is no incorrect answer. The topics are such that they leave space or room for different opinions. So please try to actively participate in today's workshop as much as you can. I see that Kathleen has classes today, so please, Kathleen, try as you can. If you can, no problem. So if you all see the link Yura and me sent on today's chat, please try to give me a minute. Click it, please, and I will share my screen. Where is it? Okay. Do you see my screen now with the AHA slides?
Yeah, with your screen.
Okay. Thank you. Please open the links from the chat on your laptops or mobile phones, which suits you best, please. I will participate from my mobile phone, and here I will be host, guiding you through the presentation and our work today. So, okay, I think okay, so we'll try to create methodology. With creating methodology, we will test our template. So let's start, okay? Imagine our class. Our students are 15 to 16 years old. We have 18 girls and 7 boys in the class. And we have 25 kids or pupils in the classroom. This is our class, and for them, we will try to create methodology on selected topics. You will select the topics, and you can choose between the 3 of the subjects here. You can choose to create methodology and talk to your pupils about coronavirus, about immigrants, and about inclusion and equal opportunities. So please, on your mobile phones and on your links, select the topic you would like to talk to your pupils.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. No.
We have inclusion, immigrants, coronavirus. I believe that everyone is enough of coronavirus already. Oh, no. Okay. Okay, it's tied. So, okay. Okay, we'll wait another few seconds. Okay, there is no more votes. 8 people voted. So by a majority vote, we will talk to our classroom about inclusion and equal opportunities. Okay, we'll try. Then let's think, what is really important to students to know about inclusion and equal opportunities? You are able to write multiple answers. So please, every answer to be in one window. For instance, let's see what type of inclusions do we have. Of course, you don't have to exclusively write. You can put on your mic and talk to me, talk to us. We will discuss, right? And one more time, there is no wrong answer. There is no right answer. Everything is correct. So please feel free to write anything you like or anything you think. Okay, we have one answer. What does inclusion mean? The definition. Okay, I will write types of inclusion. Oh, I have. What are the main obstacles to inclusion? Excellent. That persons with disabilities are equal to everybody else. Also people with different traits or okay. Let's try to think what types of disabilities we have. For instance, I believe that people with disabilities have problems with inclusion, and could it be when we talk with people with disabilities, we all think about physical or person with some sort of physical obstacles, like they are in a wheelchair, they are blind, they cannot hear, they are deaf, or they cannot speak. But is there any other type of disability? For instance, what if somebody is from distance area, some small village abroad? Does this person have equal opportunity as someone who's living in the city or near the city? Physical or mental or cognitive, right? Is it possible to have some economic disabilities? For instance, if you are poor or coming from a very poor family, or do you have equal opportunity as somebody who's, I don't know, from average family? Does that put somebody in unequal position as other peers? Excellent. Learning disabilities, reading, excellent. Like dyslexia, dysmorphia, excellent. Okay. I like how you think. I forgot that part. If somebody is in the classroom and have dyslexia or dysmorphia, right? How they can directly help inclusion in their environment. Excellent. What does inclusion mean? Okay. How to exercise inclusion in one's own environment. That's very smart. Try to ask them to react local in their surrounding. Okay, we have excellent answers. So as I mentioned, we have more. Hyperactivities, ADHD, right? Excellent. Minorities, people from rural areas, right? Medical, physiatric, brain injury. Google says excellent things, thank you. That is very helpful for us. I would like to say that it was very hard to prepare better for this workshop because I didn't know which topic or subject we will do today. So it is very helpful for us to helping us to create a good methodology, and Google, thank you. Yes, of course, language is a huge barrier. What about immigrants? Are they with their status of immigrants in an unequal position? What do you think?
Yes, they are one of the vulnerable groups that are living on the edge of society.
Yeah. Do you think that it is possible that some person has more disabilities in one? For instance, somebody has I don't know, somebody is blind and he cannot get a job and he's living in some village very distant from the city. He's in a disadvantage in more groups, let's say, right? Okay. Your answers are great, thank you. But as I mentioned, we have to create our methodology. So let's try to focus on 2 or 3 or 4 things we mentioned here. So let's vote for the thing you think, for the answer you think that we should put in our common methodology. One more time, every answer here is great and correct, but we have to create we have to create one methodology. And we cannot put everything here, or perhaps we can. So let's see by your votes. Please vote on the answer. You have 2 votes. You can vote for 2 options. I will vote 2 to see what shall we put in. Okay. We have 12 votes. Does somebody else like to vote? Okay. Let's see results for our methodology. We have what are the main obstacles to inclusion? Excellent. Language, excellent. And how to exercise inclusion in one's own environment. Excellent. So let's focus on that 3 topics in our further work. So what are the main obstacles to inclusion? Language, and how to exercise inclusion in one's own environment. Okay. So let's go on our next question. What do you think are the keywords connected to our topic here? What would be, try to put 1, or you can put 3. What would be the keywords connected to inclusion and equal opportunities? Okay. Okay, we have minority, practicing inclusions, consideration, human rights, teamwork, flexibility, inclusion, obstacles, quality, obstacles, tolerance, understanding, open-minded, flexibility, quality of opportunity, alternative learning strategies, I think, practicing inclusions. Those are very good answers and definitely keywords connected to our inclusion topic. We can go on our next task and set significance. Let's try to think, what mistakes could some of your students do if they don't hear this class about inclusion, or what they don't understand, what is important for them to understand to act and react differently lately or later in their life. Try to imagine what mistakes could they make, could they become, I don't know, some bullies, or perhaps they are not even aware that they are excluding somebody, or they are not acting tolerant enough. Okay. Excellent vote, excellent answers. I like that part of somebody's answer said humans are afraid of what they don't know or understand. That is so true. Okay, we have 8 answers. Okay, let's now see what students could unintentionally misunderstand action of people. Okay, does anybody want to comment some answers you see here? I think we are all in a good direction with these answers. Okay, no comment? So let's vote to put 3 of the significance in our methodology. Of course, you have 2 votes. You can vote for 2 options. Okay, we have 9 votes. Let's see the results. So by the significance in our joint methodology would say incorrectly assume everyone around them has equal opportunities. They could have prejudice, negative attitude towards the different because humans are afraid of what they don't know or don't understand, and inclusive system provides a better quality education for all children and are instrumental in changing discriminatory attitudes. Very good answers. So we have our significance. So let's see, how would you create classroom physical organization? Would you like to put teams into debate or in smaller groups, 2 groups, circles? How would you organize your class? Of course, connected to our topic. Be aware that we are talking about our class with 25 students, 18 girls and 7 boys, and 15 to 16 years old. Everything we do today is connected, and imagine that we are doing that for them. Okay? Okay.
Maria, can you scroll down this last message received? There may be also the so-called World Cafe. I think it will be interesting to read that. Thank you.
Let me see if I can. No, I can change view. No, I can only remove the answer. F. I can open every answer by this way, so let's see. Okay. Not friends with friends. Okay. Height, age, name. Okay. I'll give you a minute or two to think, is anything else on your mind? Okay, so let's see and let's vote what suits us best with our inclusion methodology. Okay, let's see the results now. Our group thinks that so-called World Cafe method suits best for this topic. Teamwork in small groups, 3 or 4 students to discuss different situations, and organize randomly into groups so that different people would be together, not friends with friends. And it's very, very tight. Also, you think that team has 5 learners with the opportunity to mix team as needed. Few short workshops in several small groups, 3 to 5 students would. If you agree, I would like to put all these 5 answers in our methodology, because first one has 6 votes and 4 are on the second place. So it would be correct to put these 5 suggestions into
Maria,
one.
I think maybe it would even be a better idea if you agree we can merge them so we can combine them together, because the World Cafe idea is absolutely the most favored by everyone right now. But I think it mostly includes, we could say, groups of 3 to 4 students working 3 to 5 minutes. So maybe we could combine these ideas into a single one. if you just include all these ideas, then it might not be understandable what exactly is our suggested classroom or class organization.
I understand you are right. Okay, then let's try to put them in a one. So we have teamwork or small groups. Okay, we have teamwork in small groups, organized randomly. We have criteria for organizing them. So a mixed teams as needed. Okay, that is similar with World Cafe, right? And short workshop in several small. Okay, that's 3 to 5 minutes. Students would discuss in small groups about given topic, then they would have short frontal discussion about group outcomes. Okay. So we have teamwork, group work, criteria by forming groups, and we have some timelines, 3 to 5 minutes discussing in the small groups and short frontal discussion about group outcomes. Okay, in our final methodology, I will put them in a one. So we would have World Cafe and teamwork in small groups with these criteria and given time. Okay. Okay. Then we can go on our next question. This is assessment or learning outcomes. Okay, since this topic isn't in a regular curriculum, at least not in Croatia, is it in Slovenia and in Estonia? You don't have it in a regular curricula. Okay, since this topic is not in a regular curriculum, we cannot talk about assessment, right? We can talk only about learning outcomes. So what would we like that our students teach after this lesson? What should they know? You have 5 minutes to think and write. What would be learning outcomes from our inclusion class? Okay, we collect some excellent answers. You all work in the schools. Have you, that answer right, remind me, freedom to live your life without gender-based violence. How often do you see bullying around you in your schools? Is it often, or can you recognize bullying somebody in classes you teach? Or does it happen in the hallways during the break or outside the school? How often is it? You can answer, you don't have to write.
I'm not in a school, but at a university, so I guess our audience is a bit older, and I think we don't really see much of that.
You think they are older and brighter?
Older, at least.
Okay.
I think that bullying is often hidden, not in plain sight. It's difficult to notice it.
You mean like they are sending messages on social medias or
Yes.
something like that?
It's
It's
moved
not
into virtual environment.
okay.
Students wouldn't bullying in front of the teacher, other students.
Yeah, but when I went to school, it was like, I'm not telling how many years ago, but it was very many years ago. We didn't have social media. We bullied. That I don't think it was bullying, but everything we sold in the hallway during the break, and something like, "You're stupid. No, you are stupid. No, you are more stupid. No, you are more stupid. Okay, let's play outside," and that was it. I have a child from school age, and I'm afraid of what is going on in schools and what will be going on when she was in these sensitive teenage years. So it's not easy, right? Mirko, that was a good point. You don't see bullying because it's hidden and it's not hard it's not easy to see it, right? Caitlin, do you have some experience with the bullying in your classes you teach?
Yeah, we do. And basically the bullying, as you said, it's not visible, but I, as a teacher, can see the bullying when the students are not allowing the person who is secretly being bullied in social media or via email or in group chat, when they don't allow them into their group. No, you can't work with us. No, we don't want you in our team. So this is how I, as a teacher, can see that somebody is being excluded from the group.
Is it hard to react? Do you have some mechanisms, or what is the policy in your school? Can you say, okay, you work here and you go out, or you will get notice in your, I don't know, e-diary or something, diary, or will write letters to your parents, or some mechanism to send a note, this is not a good behavior and you have to change it? Do you have these mechanisms?
Well, my students are aged 16 plus. So basically the first things we do, we are trying to get this as a group discussion. What is the problem? Why don't we let them in? And we also are trying to map out the strengths that the person would bring to the group. So and then we will discuss it openly, and then basically the person who has been excluded can select where they want to work. So the next time I see that in a group, I am letting that person who traditionally or has been before excluded, let them pick first, so that they won't get last. So every time I get a new group, I see that there is a person who's been excluded. So the next time I know that we map out his or her strengths, and then we will let her or him pick first, basically.
Excellent. Have you perhaps noticed that excluded persons are perhaps persons with some disabilities? I don't know, they are from rural area, or they are don't have mobile phones or new laptops, or they are from they have some economic disadvantage, or they don't have new iPhones, or I don't know, new Nike sneakers or something. Can you connect this not unacceptance with disabilities that somebody has from the social, economic, or some background?
Well, in my groups, the persons who are regularly excluded are the persons who suffer from depression, young people who are suffer because they are not as sociable, they don't speak much in general. So basically the ones who have some kind of depression or who have fallen behind in their studies, who have some difficulties in some subjects, so that other people see, okay, he has fallen behind, we don't need him, basically. Okay. So that's the kind of bullying that is the most common.
What is the situation in your school, Maya?
Well, I'm in secondary school, so we see this kind of problems mostly in the first year when students are coming, when they're 15. Class teachers are doing a lot with them on this topic, but not so much in the curricula, but on these hours that they have every week with their classes. But I think when they're coming to the second or the third grade, when they're out of their most of virtual time of puberty, I think things are slowly getting better. And it's not important who has something, but it becomes more important who is ready to help you, who sticks with you when it's hard time, and so on. But when they are 15, when they come from primary school, there's more of this problem.
Yeah, that is exactly why I put this our imaginary class with the year of 15 to 16. It is a huge bump in their life. They go from elementary school to secondary school. They change their peers, they change classmates. They are in the puberty. They are, I don't know, full of themselves on some way, not necessarily bad way. And I think those three topics we suggest today are all important for them. Perhaps I say one more time, I don't work in school, but I think that they could be important for 15 or 16-year-olds. Okay, so I will, since we talked a little, I will show you all your answers one more time so that we can vote for those that we will include in our methodology. Students should be able to explain how those disabilities affect everyday lives of people who suffer from them. Okay. Students should be able to list several most common types of physical or mental disabilities. So students should be able to list actions they can take to help people with disabilities. Learners understand that people's special qualities and individual assumptions are important, right? Students should be able to recognize people with less opportunities and try not to discriminate them. They should understand the need for inclusion, be more perceptive for different circumstances of people, change their behavior when dealing with people with different disadvantages. Ask students to read an online resource about inclusion before the classroom, maybe a report on a personal story. Excellent idea. They should be able to analyze themselves and their attitudes towards different types of disabilities and how they can be supportive and understanding or helpful in different situations in working life or everyday life. I'm sorry, I don't know how to read it. So I don't understand that part. I'm not sure how to read it.
Okay, I think next one is in English.
That one, students have to
yeah.
explain. Okay, thank you. Students have to explain what inclusion is and can list types of and examples of most common disabilities. Okay. And learners understand that all people in societies have the same opportunities, rights, and responsibilities in areas such as power and influence, economic independence, entrepreneurship, job and working conditions, responsibility for the home and children, freedom to live your life without gender-based violence. So those are your answers. They are all excellent answers. So please vote which would be included in our methodology. Of course, those who won't be directly included, we'll try to summarize as on the question below. Okay. Let's see your votes, our votes. They should understand the need for inclusion, be more perceptive for different circumstances of people, change their behavior when dealing with people with different disadvantages. Students should be able to explain how those disabilities affect everyday lives of people. And learners understand that people's special qualities and individual assumptions are important. Okay, we have first 3 spots to be included in our methodology. And I must say, all the answers are great. And I'll try to assume on 3rd place all the answers in one, as Jura suggested on the last question. So I'll try to do it here because all of your answers are great and thank you. So we have a big part to do, included activities with motivation. I think that we will, now it's 12:55. Let's take 10 to 15 minutes to think and write something about that topic. What activities would you include in your classroom to explain your classroom, our imagined classroom, about inclusion? And so you have, let's say, 10, 15, 10 minutes. Is that enough? Okay. Take 10 minutes, think.
Sorry, mul hääletada või juurde. Kuidas film toimus või normaalne? Ei, selles mõttes oli nagu kõik korda. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. What about you are pretty hungry? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wait, what? Wait, what? Present rules. Present.
I'm out of space.
You can send it and then let's say part 2 and continue. You see, we are now using AHA slides. So for the next workshop, we hope that we will be able to test our audit with the similar functions. And that is very important notice for Juraj. Do not put the size limitation, please. Juraj and your team, do not put size.
Okay, will do.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I think we all sent our suggestions. Is somebody still typing? No? Yes, okay.
Okay, I'm done, sorry.
No problem. Juraj, you send yours. Okay, so let's see our suggestions. Okay, let's see the next one. Group discussion, work with reading materials, case stories, and summarizing. World Cafe groups of 3 to 4 students where they discuss inclusion and what it is about. It should activate students' prior knowledge about the topic. Okay, lecture about the key aspect of inclusion, possibly using an ARS audit, we hope audit, to ask students questions during the lecture. This should provide students with some information about inclusion types of disabilities, their frequency for the discussion about what students can do, take on an active role towards inclusion. Maybe invite some real person with some sort of mental or physical disability to talk about their everyday life and what situations have they been through, and later in group reflect on that. Okay. Preparation, online article about disabilities, introduction YouTube video about people with less opportunities, development, group work, World Cafe, types of disabilities, and practical examples, how to report on topics related to people with less opportunities. Students should maybe do fieldwork or research. What are categorized as disabilities in 21st century, and then discuss those in groups, offer solutions on how we can be more aware of and considerate about that and represent the results to each other. To motivate students into topic, I would find some interesting story and give it to students to analyze it. Then we would have workshop in small groups about it. Okay. Motivational video. Someone explain unequal opportunities from personal experience. Each group is given a real-life example of unequal treatment to discuss what are the consequences of such a situation for the person and the society. Groups suggest a list of actions on how to improve given situation. World Cafe method, part of group are moving on to discuss on different situation. Plenary ending, a class create a list of actions needed to be considered for each students. And
there is part B.
Okay.
Not here, down there.
Okay.
The
Yes,
green
yes,
one.
yes.
Yes,
Part two. Okay. Each student, school, society, and in new group, students are planning and execute an action plan for awareness campaigner. Okay.
Just campaign, sorry.
And this one was between parts 1 and 2. Use some related videos and analyze equality issues based on previous prepared questions. Okay. Those are very good answers. Yeah. All of those. So let's vote, but I will say that I will definitely try to do the rest of the answers in one by combining them because they are all. So please give us a vote. What do you think should be put it in our methodology?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay, let's say you all voted. And let us see the results. Okay. Oh, yeah, we have a situation where we should combine the answers. No problem, I'll do that. The most votes are here. World Cafe of groups of 3 to 4 students where they discuss inclusion and what is it about. It should activate students' prior knowledge about the topic. Lecture about the key aspects of inclusion using ARS, we hope Audit. Yeah. Discussion about what students can do to take an active role towards inclusions. Then this one, okay, it's similar group work, World Cafe. Field work research categorized as a disability. Okay. Motivational video. Students written case study. Okay. I'll try to combine these answers into one, if that is okay with you, or perhaps in two, because we have some similarities, and I'll try to combine it into one activity. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's great. I think you should compile them into a list by combining them or combining the best of them.
Yeah, I think we have some similarities. So, or perhaps we can leave all the activities just as they are here. So somebody who would after use these methodologies can choose between suggested activities, all connected with the subject, right?
I think we actually have a field for that. If I'm not mistaken, I think Katalin suggested this in one of the interviews for us to have the field for alternative activities.
Yes.
So maybe I would suggest that you take or you combine these into a single list that is our suggestion based on this discussion. And then if there are alternatives, then you can copy that to the alternatives field.
Okay. Okay. I think now we can go on the next question. And we are talking about alternative activities. So do you think, except though that thing Yuri suggested, and it's a good idea to put a second activity as an alternative activity, but what if something goes wrong? What if you plan to watch YouTube video and there is no electricity or there is no internet in the school? Or what if you plan to do group work, but there isn't, let's say, if you plan to have 5 groups, but coronavirus and you have only students for 2 groups? Or can you suggest what could be alternative to activities you suggested on the step or question before?
I think we suggested actually a large number of these discussion type activities in which students work in pairs, or I think it was 3 or 4 students, and the World Cafe activity. So if something goes wrong technically, as you described, Maria, electricity not working or internet not working, or whatever, then I think we can stick to these activities. I think they are a larger part of the course unit that we were describing, and then in context of these alternative activities, they would then be the major part of the lecture. So we have the lecture explaining theoretical concepts, and then we have group work or discussion activities.
Okay, so you should suggest that we don't use more time on this question. Then, of course, we will use second activity from prior question as alternative activity to those questions or question here, right?
Yeah, I think that should work well enough.
Okay. Then we'll skip that part. So on the next question, I don't see them. Do you see? Yeah. Why is this topic relevant? Try to describe why you choose inclusion as the topic you talk to your students, since you mentioned that inclusion is not topic in regular curriculum in Slovenia, Estonia, nor in Croatia. So let's imagine you have classes, you are a master teacher in your class, and you have classes with your class, and decide to talk to them about inclusion. Why? Try to explain them why is this topic relevant now when they are 15 years old, 16 years old. Why do you want to talk to them about inclusion? So try to answer. You have 5 full minutes. Okay, we have your answers. Thank you. This picture is amazing. Thank you. It is great, and it summarizes everything we talked today. So we have difference between equality and equity, and it's great. So why is this topic relevant? We all wrote the similar thing. It's relevant because it's not okay that somebody be excluded based on background, orientation, or something, and that we are all being excluded in some point of our life. That's so true. And this sentence is very good. They should know they are not alone. And being unique, different can be good and hard at the same time. I think that's summarize all we mentioned today about this topic. It's good and it's hard, and we should do and know better and be aware of those things around us, and that not only person with physical invalidity are people with disabilities. So I think we can go on the next question, and you can vote here. Can described methodology be applied to other topics? So as you try to remember, we mentioned World Cafe, debates, groups, previous work. Can it be applied to some other topic? Let's say immigrants or coronavirus, or I don't know, bullying, cyberbullying. Can we use our methodology and just not talk about inclusion and talk to coronavirus, or I don't know? Okay, you all said it can be. And now you said it can be. On which one? Okay, if there's no more ideas, we can vote about this 4. Okay, there is one more, 2, 3. Okay. Now we can vote and try to put 2 of these in our methodology. Okay, and we have our results. It said it can be with immigration, social problems, human rights, and any topic that needs to be discussed, and the views of all participants, sharing of idea, and so on. Humanities subjects and that needs discussion and sharing ideas and experience. Any topic that needs discussion and sharing ideas and experience that answer is similar with the answer any topic that needs to be discussed and the views of all participants. So we will combine them. And immigration and humanities subjects for units that don't require, will combine them also. Okay. You can go on. Please take your time, take 5 to 6 minutes and try to write what is innovative in this approach. What is different, since this topic is not in the regular curricula in your countries? Innovative, I presume that innovative thing is just to mention it on your class, but what is the difference between our approach and approach of somebody who would take flyers and gave the pupils and said, read it and okay, that's enough, for instance. Or use some internet article, send them to pupils, or just take one YouTube video, put it in the classroom and do nothing after. So what is innovative in our approach? Excellent answer. Probably not much innovation here, but I think the approach is still good. Thank you. Okay. I'll wait 1 more minute if some answer comes. No, we're not typing. So, okay, I think we are at the end of our methodology compiling workshop today and testing methodology template. So, thank you. You've done great job. Do you have some questions? Do you have some ideas? Do we have to change something in our template? Because as you could notice, our questions were categories from our methodology template. You already compiled 3 methodologies based on this template. Some questions, of course, weren't here at the presentation, such as class, course, gender, because we mentioned that in the beginning, we didn't write it for the real class. We write it today for imaginary class of 15 to 16-year-olds. We didn't have unit title, and we didn't have author, and we didn't have duration, because those are specific questions I think that needs to be filled at the end of all methodology compiling. So do you think some things should be changed in this template? Do we have to add something or remove something? We had 101 or 221. We have individual workshops and we spoke about that template. We talked, we tried to manage it and compile it on a way you suggest. So is it still something that you think that shouldn't be there, or something that is missing and should be there?
Maria, I noticed today that you used, we had the assessment field in the form that we were using. I noticed today in this presentation, you used assessment/learning outcomes.
Yeah.
Do you think, or it seemed to me at that moment that it might be a good idea to include learning outcomes as a form in our template? What do you think about that? Or did you want to suggest that by using it with assessment?
I put assessment or lesson goals because today's subject is not in a curricula, and you cannot expect that someone assess something that is not in a curricula. You cannot get a grade. You don't have exam. You don't have questioning about our today's topic. So I put lesson. I said lesson outcomes, right?
I think it was learning outcomes. But yeah, I agree. But
yeah,
if this methodology that we developed were to be included in the curriculum, then we would have here a suggestion of how it can be assessed. But still, my question was about the learning outcomes. Should we include learning outcomes in the methodologies that we're developing. I think it would be a good idea, actually. We, at the university, we have these learning outcomes defined for every course. And if we're developing this on a smaller level, so for a unit, I think we could, or we should still have learning outcomes, or that it would be helpful if we had learning outcomes defined. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think, or what do the others think?
I don't mind, but I'm not in the school, so I think that our school...
In school, we always start with the learning outcomes. This is the base for which you start to plan the other activities and everything else.
Okay. Kathleen, Vilve, Mirko, what do you think? Should we include learning outcomes in our methodology template?
Well,
Maybe we could, why not?
In our school, in our curricula, the learning outcomes are necessary part.
Exactly, in our school, it's a necessary part.
It starts from learning outcomes,
Okay.
everything.
Then we have learning outcomes as a new category in our methodology template. I will put it. I have to write. Okay, I'll send a new template. So by today's workshop, we are officially created a new methodology on a theme of inclusion. Was it too hard for you to participate in today's workshop? Or it is easier instead of, let's say, not filling it or writing it, what you prefer? Talking about the subjects or questions we wrote now, or writing instead of talking and discussing? What is it? What suits you more?
I think this combination of talking and writing worked well for me.
Okay.
It depends on the topic, because this one today was pretty much out of the box, I think, for all of us. It's not the part of our curriculum and what we are usually do in the classroom, so it was a bit different.
Okay. Okay. I'll send you our methodology. Would you like to have more workshop on that type, that we all together do something, some task or tasks, or it is easier for you to do it one by one or do it yourself on the time you like?
Again, it depends on the topic.
Well, you see, if we all work together, it is hard to find the topic. We all have the same prior knowledge or some same type of experience. So we have to choose the topics that are definitely out of the box, and the topics that are socially related, not professionally related.
Could you please explain at first what would be the goal of it? So we should now create 20 these examples or something like this, and you're asking if we are all doing it together, or we said, okay, everyone picks and creates 3?
No. After this workshop, you start working on methodologies. We now tested our template. We concluded that we need one more field, learning outcomes, right? When I put these learning outcomes, I will send you this template, and you will start on 6-month period working on methodologies. We should all collect 50 methodologies for 6 months, I think. You have 6-month period for all of you to write and combine. We calculated 9 methodologies. So I'm asking you, would be easier for you that, let's say, for a month, we have one more workshop and do some team, perhaps, I don't know if it's okay. You Maya, can present us one of your methodologies. Then for another month, Kathleen can present us one of her methodologies. For 3 months, Mirko can present us one of his methodologies. 5 months ago, Vibla can present us one of her methodologies. So would you like to have 6-month peaceful period regarding to methodologies? We will leave you alone and do your job. We will, of course, ask you, how are you, send you email and something about, but not doing methodologies with you? Or would be easier for you to every now and then have some workshop regarding to your work on methodology?
It doesn't matter. I just have one more question before we discussing this thing further. Does these methodologies, I don't like the word, for me, it means something else, but okay. Are these methodologies are supposed to include this new tool that you are developing or not?
Yes. You already made 3 methodologies. You suggest using some of ARS tools, right? That's, of course, normal. You cannot suggest using Audit or some of his functions because Audit is still not done. Audit will be in February 2022 in test phase. So we will definitely have a workshop where we could be testing Audit and his functionalities. So of course, it would be great if you suggest using Audit in your methodologies. I understand that it is hard now to presume how to use Audit because it's not finished yet, but you have project proposal. Juraj, can you tell us, we will be able to manage all the functions from project proposal in Audit?
Yes, all the functions from the project proposal will be available. I hope we will be able to test the tool together, or we'll send you the link to test the tool yourself in January, mid-January. And regarding the functions, Maria, you said now that we have to include, do we have to include Audit in all of our methodologies or most of the times?
You don't have to, of course, it's not obligatory.
But it would be good for project outcomes.
Our project has two main outcomes. First one is tool, software, and the second one is your part, your methodologies. We would like to combine software and methodologies to be used together. Of course, you cannot put and force in every methodology and every activity, but when you can, instead of using, I don't know, AHA slides, you can suggest using an Audit, or instead of using Moodle or something, you can suggest using Audit.
Okay, so as for the functions of Audit, we already agreed on them. First, we defined them in the project proposal. Then we had another discussion or workshop about them later. So the functions that we defined there are definitely going to be available. I hope that we're going to be able to try them out in mid-January. And if you will be planning your methodologies before that date, then I think you can count on Audit as more or less as a general audience response system tool. So more or less similar as to the AHA slides that Maria was using now. And then mid-January, we're going to have a meeting or a workshop, or Maria, as you define, and then I will walk you through the implementation and you'll see what it can do in more detail.
Okay, so in the mid of January, we are going to meet the Audit and we are trying to use it. And we will, each one of us will have to create 9 more, or the 3 that we already have plus 6?
3 that you already have plus 6. But that 3 you already created, you will have to fill learning outcomes because they will be in our new template. So you have to create 6 more. And for those 3 existing, fill learning outcomes.
Okay. Do we need any proofs, or proof is a bad choice for word, that we tried out in the classroom?
It would be great, but not in this phase, because it would be great if you try it in the classroom. You mean like piloting? It would be great after audit is almost finished, and after we finish our testing phase with you, and after Juraj's team adjust according to our commenters or suggestions, then you can try it in the classroom or with your colleagues. It would be great if you choose to pilot methodology that use audit, and then you have tool and you have methodology and test it in your class.
Yeah, I think that's the point. What about including other teachers from our school? Because I think it would add to the variety of the, because we are covering limited number of subjects now. And maybe if we would include some colleagues from different fields, it would add up to the...
It would be great.
Okay.
It would be great to include colleagues from different subjects or different topics. It would be great after we collect all methodologies, we can compile it in two parts. First, STEM parts, mathematics, informatics, physics, chemistry, or subjects connected and related to that STEM field, and a social humanistic field with languages, geography, history, national language, literature, or something. And it would be great that in our final project, it's not obligatory, it's not necessary, but it would be great if we were able to have those two fields covered, then we covered everything. And by the question in the template, in which unit or why this is it methodology can be related to other topics, you can choose it. Let's say talking about, if we, for instance, talked about today about coronavirus, definitely some approach can be applied in some other biology class or some other chemistry class, or I don't know, learning how to calculate from in mathematics. Definitely approach can be similar to, I don't know, something in physics, I presume, or something in informatics or in computer science. So we will try by this methodology template, try to combine our methodology handbook, try to connect it in those two fields. And of course, it would be great if you suggest using audit in your methodology examples. And one more thing, since it is possible that you will be piloting these methodologies on the spring, let's say March or May, try to include in methodologies one of the subjects you usually by the school curricula you use on, I don't know, April or May or in the spring. I don't know, not to have a continuously working with your classroom, right?
Yeah, I think I will definitely do it 1 month each, so that I could try it out at the same time. I won't plan all 6 in advance until June, definitely not.
Okay, no problem. Do you have some more questions? And I have one.
Maybe it would be nice if we would have, we were asking us before if we would like to make a joint effort like this one. And maybe after you will introduce us to audit, maybe we could do one together, and then the rest of us by ourselves.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, if others agree.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, then we will have a mid-January testing audit after we said our comments, and if something should be corrected or changed, then we can, after that, we can have this type of workshop using audit. Excellent, okay. I have one big, I don't know how to say. Please send me some Christmas picture where audit sign is seen. You can, I don't know, take a picture of your school's name or I don't know, I'm not sure. Do you have some Christmas lights or decoration in school? Put somewhere audit sign and send us pictures so that we can create a Christmas greeting card on our web pages. Please send me by the end of the next week. The date is
10th. The 17th.
Please. Is it possible to do?
Yep.
Thank you very much. You've been very kind. You've been very helpful today. I will send you via email a new template, including lesson plans and lesson outcomes. And I will send you our today's methodology to see how our joint work was. So thank you one more time and have a pleasant weekend. Have a great rest of the day. Take a coffee, take a break, enjoy, and we'll be in touch definitely.
Thank you,
Maria.
bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.